Maybe. All right. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Catfish Weekly. Along with Lyle and Josh, I am Chad, and it is still hotter than Hades outside.
Yeah, it's bad.
And Josh is the only one of us without any sense and is out in it tonight. Lyle and I know how to beat the heat. We stay right here in our cozy little house with the air conditioning just
You guys
blasting.
all fished this weekend, and I didn't get a chance to, so I'm taking advantage of it.
I did. I actually did get to go. Lyle,
You
you
know
went?
what? No, not in this heat.
I didn't figure
I
you
don't
would.
have to, and you can't make me. You know,
You
this
proved
hot
that.
weather. This hot weather reminds me of one night years ago at the stock car races when a piece of pipe fell off of a guy's car, and this guy walked out on the track and he reached down and picked it up, and it was exhaust pipe, and it was just burning the hell out of his hand. He turned loose of that. The announcer up in the bleachers goes, "Hot." Everybody was laughing. This guy kicked it
Oh
off
man,
the racetrack and you never seen him again.
Lord have mercy.
oh that's
It
funny.
was kind of funny.
We say hello to people here.
Let's do that. Looks like they're
All right.
rolling in.
Yeah, we're starting to build up here
Yeah,
just a
starting
little
to get a
bit.
few.
We got Mr. Mike Sampson, burrito catfishing lady. I don't know why she says maybe Chad. I mean,
Hmm.
might have taken a week off. Okay, calm
Well,
down.
yeah, you take a week off every once in a while.
Every once in a while. Look at that. Fishing with the Chads made it in. He's been a member for 39 months. Says love me some Catfish Weekly.
Thank you, buddy.
Member Uptown Chrissy Brown. Rowdy Royal. Old boy outdoors. There's our
Hello,
little
Larry.
buddy Mason Stokes. My second favorite Stokes.
Hey, Mason.
Cindy's my first, just so you know.
I figured.
We got Jeff Beal, Sean Abney, Mark Barnum, Nubby's Catfishing, Randy Swain, John Boys, The Weekend Angler, member for 31 months and still thinks after all this time that he's Lyle's number one.
Yeah.
Right. There's Catch Fish with us, Gene Tillman, Parker Pursuits. And right now, I'm already to the bottom.
Awesome.
Did you get Angler's Itch outdoor?
No, I don't see him anywhere.
Yeah.
What
Yeah,
about
he's up there.
Flatman Curtis?
Oh, there, yeah, I did. totally missed him. My
What
bad.
about Flatman Curtis?
My bad. My bad.
There's Bugman.
Now, yeah, more messages finally starting to come in.
Did you say hello to Jerry Parker?
I did. I didn't want to, Lyle, but
Oh,
Yeah,
shit.
nobody ever really wants to, but you do anyway.
I did.
Because it's
But I
fun.
do want to say hi to Schmieder of the Cedars.
That's right.
Oh yeah,
That's right.
absolutely.
Lance McCoo guy.
Hope everybody's having a fantastic start of the week. I had to work, so I can't say I'd had a great one, but
There had to be one of
But-
I go back tomorrow. So.
But before we really get into this, and I really want to finish our conversation before we went live, because we could have probably sat there for another half an hour planning this, but
Mm-hmm.
We were discussing that everybody knows that Chad and Dee are looking at trying to move into a new house and sell this one, and we came across that we're going to be very, very close to what is the Ark Encounter here in Northern Kentucky. And I have personally invited Lyle and Cindy to come out and
Mm-hmm.
stay with us so we can. And I really would like Josh to come too. Dockery, if he wants to come, it'd be awesome to see how big the Ark is compared to him. But really, we want to do a video testimony of Lyle walking through the Ark Encounter and giving us a play-by-play of how it
The
all really happened.
Yeah, the real story. You
The
know,
real story behind it all.
Chad,
Did you miss me, buddy?
you're about as funny as the chap.
Did you miss me? Is what I'm asking.
I did.
I can just see
Oh,
Lyle.
man.
There's where we had the rod holders.
mm,
This is where our bait tank was.
Oh, man. You're just bad. That's all.
It does kind of look like I'm sitting in a restroom, I guess. Yeah, this room is pretty much completely emptied out there,
oh
Curtis.
wow,
So,
yeah, it does.
oh look! You know it's good when Mama Stokes comes in and just starts a laughing.
It's not that funny.
I thought it was.
I think it'd be great. I think the viewers would like it if we posted a video
Yep.
of you
Oh,
telling
I'm
the
sure
story.
you would. I'm sure you would. But let's do something I know a little bit about.
What do you know a little bit about?
Fishing, stock car racing, drag racing, stuff like that.
So you're saying your time as a boat builder.
No,
You don't really remember it too
I
well.
never was a boat builder. Never was a boat. Hell, I built dog houses that dogs would need to sleep in.
Oh Lord have mercy.
Yeah, I'm not much of a builder of anything out of wood, but it's got a motor in it. I can kind of get along with it.
Well, there we go.
And it'd take a big block to run that arc. I'm thinking maybe more than one.
Every bit of it.
Maybe
That thing
more
is.
than one.
We went there. It's been several years ago. We went there, and it is massive.
I bet. Is that just a walk in and tour around thing, or see? You used to have a restaurant in St. Louis called Noah's Ark where you got the best shrimp and or steak and lobster you ever ate, man.
Yeah, this is. It's a paid attraction. You go in and you walk around, and they've got some stuff outside of it to see and do, and I think I'm trying to think how many floors are in the Ark. I think there's like 3, but you walk all through it. And look,
Nope.
What'd you do, Chad?
Apparently Lyle did not like him talking
I didn't
about
touch anything. My hands are here.
baby
Wasn't
Jesus and the
me.
ark. So oh, don't worry, Miss Cindy. I definitely will try to keep him off of that topic.
I see
So
Benoit Fishing Outdoors has made it in, Chad. They had a video I watched this morning that was very well done. You ought to take a look at some of their stuff.
there are
Get a chance?
several that have came out recently that I would love to get time to check out. I just have not. Uh,
I seen some new ones the last few days that I can't remember them all, but ones that I didn't know people was actually making content and enjoyed them very much. And there's Frank from Twisted Whiskers.
yep, Josh just said his phone overheated.
Oh, okay.
He'll
Twisted
be right
Fishing
back.
TV. That Bidenomics. We are proud of Bidenomics.
Stop it. Stop it. Just stop.
What did he say?
Hey, focus. Fishing. We're talking about fishing. So we're only 10 minutes into the show, and it's so hot out at 8:10 p.m. God's time, 7:10 p.m. your all's time,
Real
that
time.
Josh's phone is overheated. So
Well, right here it's still 92, Chad.
it's 88 here. So we're on
Not
the
that
cusp.
much difference.
We're on the cusp, though, that temperature is going to fall off. You know, we're getting very close to the end of pleasure boat season, aka fall. So very excited. But we still have some hot days ahead of us. Then, it goes without saying, tricks to staying cool. One is staying hydrated. Don't be like me and just drink Mountain Dews all day. But because sugar's not exactly great for you, but make sure you keep some kind of electrolytes and water and stuff like that as well. But this too, just making sure you have something to keep covered with, I think is a big help, because we went out Sunday and it was 90, 93, 94 degrees. It was hot, but thank God for our Bimini.
It makes a world of difference.
It does. And if you're going to invest in a boat, invest in a decent bimini because that does help. There's most of them will help knock out some of the rays from coming down on you, but the more coverage you have, the better. Because
That's
it
right.
was night and day walking out from underneath the bimini to tend to the poles versus going back in. It was a huge difference.
Yep. Yeah, it does. And um, it just, that sun, there's something about it just bearing down on you. It's just like a hammer or something hitting you. But
Mhm.
you can crawl underneath the shade or underneath one of the biminies, anything like that makes a world of difference. And Chad, that if there's shade around the bank, you'll probably find fish there because
Oh
they don't
yeah,
like that sun either.
there
That
he
They,
was,
is.
that
they
was
do
fun.
not. We're back.
Had to
Josh,
switch.
didn't you come out with a video here a while back about a
Was
deal to keep that from happening?
I did, I have since changed phones, and I have not built a water jacket for this phone yet. So
That's a really good video for those of you that haven't seen it.
that was really a great video.
that
Go over
thing
to the
looks great.
Weekend Anglers YouTube channel and check that out.
Yeah, if I'd had one, we'd have been in good shape. But
And while you're at it, check out this week's video about the batteries he come up with. It's really good too.
Yeah,
that one performed pretty well. So
I still haven't
Like
got to see it, so don't ruin it for me. It's on my list, I promise.
it is. It's
you're
really well done.
you're busy, so you got a lot going on. So
A little bit.
Howdy.
Catfishing with us says the Bimini and DeWalt fans make fishing bearable this time of year. And I'm sure you're right. I don't have a fan, but I've been thinking about one.
I bought one of those little Bauer ones at Harbor Freight, and that thing works great.
Sorry, I had to call Brian B out for telling lies in chat.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Saying he caught more fish than I did this weekend.
Well, it was good to see you out on the water. I know you've been working hard. You indeed deserved a day out.
Well, I ended up making her stay home, and I went without her.
Oh, okay.
But you're right; it had been a month since I had gotten to go out fishing, so it was nice. It was nice to get out for a few hours. So what other tricks for staying cool you guys got besides staying home, Lyle? You can't use that one no more.
That and the Bimini top, the fan is a great idea. I don't have one of them, but I really think that is a great idea. I would like to try one of those because I don't know, on like today and yesterday morning here when I took the dog out, it was so calm that any kind of air movement would have made a huge difference.
Mm-hmm.
But on those days where you have a little bit of breeze, I'd like to know how much difference they make, how close you got to be to it, not yada, 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 all the stuff that goes along with that. But I've often wondered about a big box fan, like you put in the window and having an adapter for it.
Yeah, it'd probably work.
Because they move a lot of air, but they also require a lot of electricity, where these new ones, I assume, does not.
I would say I know fishing up around when we go to Mendota and stuff, or up to Paint Creek and stuff, and fish with Betty G and Brandon. They have like just the little clip-on fans. Those work really well.
Okay.
So
Not familiar with those either, but
Get you one of those. Get you one of those coolers and make one of those 4-man air conditioners.
I
I'm
was
talking
getting ready to
about.
bring that up.
That would be really, really good, wouldn't it? Sure
That probably
would.
really would.
Yeah,
There's Matt. Want to be outdoors? Joined us.
Matt, belated happy birthday, sir. Seen you had a birthday, just didn't
I
have
didn't
time to
see that
message you.
either. I'm good.
I did, but that was my limit of opening up Facebook to clear my notifications. I didn't post any happy
There's
birthday to anybody.
922 crappie barbecue.
But yeah, it definitely, we got a little bit of a breeze towards the end of the day before we headed back in, and it did make a huge difference on Sunday. It was
Oh yeah.
cool.
Nubby's catfishing says Craftsman makes a battery fan for $50. They work great.
That ain't bad.
Doesn't sound too bad to me.
Mm-mm. Yeah, the only thing about those is, if you don't have um, enough battery juice to keep it out there the whole time you're out.
Yeah, that's where you need one of those boxes like I made.
Mm-hmm.
Boogman
cool fans.
says I have two O2 cool fans. One wired to hook straight into bed. Very nice. There's a lot of ways of doing that. I honestly think though, Chad, the number one thing would be shade, whether it be
Oh
under a
yeah.
tree or bimini top. I don't know what Josh has got there, but one of those umbrellas that you use on a deck
Like
table.
patio
Yeah.
table.
Yeah.
Those things, we used them in a boat for years and years, and they make a huge difference. If you
Yeah,
don't have no one else and you're out off the end of a wing dike where there ain't a tree for a half mile, they make a world of difference on hot days.
Now this
Really
one
do.
come built into the chair. I bought this I think when we were going to watch the fireworks around the 4th of July, and it's got a little canopy over it that's adjustable, and I mean it don't do much for the heat, but I mean it keeps the sun off your head. So
There you go.
Yep.
David Smith, welcome.
Keeping any kind of sun off of you, those
yeah, now
every bit of
it's
cooler.
right there. So
Yeah. So Josh, where are you fishing at tonight?
I'm at an Arrowhead Lake. I don't come out here very very often, but this is my little lake that's full of bullheads. So I just grabbed some night crawlers and some light tackle and come out here and put a couple lines out. And so far, nothing but see if we can get maybe get a bullhead or two to bite later on.
There we go.
My experience with bullheads, they kind of bite all the time.
They bite all the time. Yeah, they're a nuisance. Oh, why will with that? Yep.
I tell you what, that is not a bad idea.
That would like hit Lyle's master reset switch if you put him in an ice bath.
Used to get in them when I played sports in high school, but not since.
That's because it was an ice age then.
Wow. I would never pick on you like that.
Whatever.
Yeah, that's funny.
Ice age.
Kind of goes with who was it that just said that about jumping in? We actually had Stan 3 jumped in. He went to release a fish and jumped in with it out of his boat a couple weeks ago on my channel. It was pretty funny.
Sometimes it's worth it. Now they tell
People
me.
saying hello.
Wow, Frank, I couldn't. I don't know. I've been out there without my Bimini, and I just.
Yeah, that was one of my better investments.
I tell you what, I tried.
Oh, yeah.
We went out Sunday morning. It was so friggin' foggy. We got out there about 6:30. The fog didn't lift until 9:30. Is how thick it was. It lay there forever, and then it got hot quick after it burnt off. And I was sitting there roasting. I'm a redhead, so I'm fair skinned. And I was like, man, I think we need to put this Bimini up. And it was like instant. It felt like it was 10 degrees cooler. It was so nice.
And if there's any breeze at all.
There was no breeze until the afternoon.
Yeah, well, if there is, though, being in the shade makes all the difference in the world.
Oh, yeah. Mr. LG Bass.
Those come in handy when it rains, too. So
There's Christina.
Well, now I got to find a new bolt for my Bimini.
Berlina Smith.
A new bolt.
Yes. So I've got the two poles that come up. We loaded it on the trailer, pulled it up into the parking lot, and my buddy goes, boss, we got an issue. The bolt that holds this pole into it just disappeared. It was just kind of just flopping there. Like, I'm like, son of a biscuit eater. It never ends. Break out another 1,000.
Yep. Get you a stainless bolt. You'll be good to go.
Yeah. That's the one thing with that boat that I've had numerous issues with is keeping the Bimini from trying to rip out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Do either one of you two go barefooted in your boat?
Do I go barefooted?
Yeah.
All the time.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Josh?
No, I'd get a hook in me.
I'm not worried about the hook. How do you keep your top of your feet from getting sunburned?
Oh, I wear sandals year round. So
yeah,
I can't wear sand.
I usually wear Crocs in the boat. So
see, yeah, I wear my Croc sandals year round.
So you're like Dockery.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because he complains about them all the time. But Katie informed us that he has Crocs.
Oh,
and
yeah.
if you got them, you're wearing them.
Oh God, yeah. I heard that he's got one for each day of the week.
Well, I haven't heard that, but it wouldn't surprise
me. Got quite a collection.
I don't doubt.
But no, I've never had any issues getting hooks in my feet, and I mean, I don't always walk around with them, but you know,
Danny Stone has made it in.
Hey, Danny.
Now, what's up, Daniel Stone?
I saw he was working down at Kentucky Lake today.
I seen that. Pretty house. That's looks like something I need, but too far away and too much money. That's a nice looking place.
There's Mr. Creole.
Hey, Jeremy.
And as long as the bottom of my feet don't singe when I walk around, I walk around barefoot from time to time. Hell, D used to yell at me all the time, asking why I still had them on because I seem to catch more fish when I take my shoes off.
I'm not going to bother that. I could.
I'm just saying, it was like a luck charm. No shoes, we get bites.
Joe Newman, welcome. Do you put sunscreen on them?
I'm bad about sunscreen. I'll admit it.
Wow.
So
LG Bass, John Boys.
That's 61 awesome people.
Thank you guys so very much. We appreciate it.
We got 28 thumbs up.
If you haven't hit that thumbs up, please do so. We'd appreciate it very much.
Lots of you have not. We would appreciate it. Frank says, I get darker in the sun. I burnt a time or two when I was little. I used to burn really, really bad. I still get it, sun poisoning every once in a while, but nothing like I did when I was a kid. Oh my gosh, it was bad. But that's definitely something, making sure we're touching that again it is very smart to keep sunscreen, especially during the summer.
Yeah.
We've done shows like that in the past. I can't remember the gentleman's name. He did a great show with us. The saltwater guy.
Yep. Mark.
Yes.
Mark Davis.
Yes.
Mark
awesome
Davis.
Show with him.
He had skin cancer from sun, and him and I talked about him doing a show with us for probably 5 years, and we never could line up. I talked to Mark every once in a while, still do. He's a great guy, catches the world out of fish. He's got a show called Saltwater Adventures. If you get a chance, check it out. It is on, I don't remember which one, Outdoor Channel and a couple of actually. Really nice guy, very informative. He goes up at least once every year and has to be checked out for skin cancer. Make sure he doesn't have a problem with that. He's won a lot of awards. He's just about won every award that you can have on TV for an outdoor channel, and he's a super nice guy. One of these days I'll contact him and say, hey, we need to do another one of them shows. Quite sure that he will. I invited him to go catfishing a number of times, and he said he just didn't want to get off of the saltwater thing. Not that he didn't fish for freshwater fish, but I see now that he's faltering, and he has. So maybe we can talk him into coming around and going sometime. But he was catching bass here a while back. But just a really nice guy, down to earth. But he really pushes the using your skin protectant and being checked because he's been down that road, and just super nice guy.
Yeah, I actually went to use mine a few weeks ago. I was out in the water, it was getting hot, and I said I probably ought to put it on. And I like the aerosol kind. If I got to use it, that's the kind of
no.
You don't like that aerosol?
I cannot stand aerosol.
I don't care whether I use aerosol or not, but don't get it on your electronics because it'll put little white spots all over the plastic. I don't know what it is about it, but it will.
If you have cheap sunglasses, it eats plastic on your cheap sunglasses too. So
oh wow,
it'll fall off your head about an hour later. But
it'll work you over.
So I got the aerosol thing of sunscreen out, and it was the kids version, and I said I don't care, I'm going to still spray it on me. And I hit it, it just kind of went right out the big nowhere.
Wow.
And I thought, well, shoot, guess I ain't putting sunscreen on.
But that's a good point that Creole brought up, that heat stress and heat exhaustion are a very real issue this time of year. You got to pay attention and know your limits.
The point where you stop sweating, and you are in danger.
Oh, you are. You're in trouble. Powerade is the thing that I use. It's like Gatorade, except a few dollars cheaper. I drink a lot of that if I'm not feeling well, because you need to stay hydrated then too. But if you're out in the heat, water, and something like Powerade that gives you electrolytes and stuff to get you back in your system, it's a lifesaver. And of course, the older you get, the more important it is to have it.
I tell you what I've been buying, because for a while there I was having severe muscle spasm issues. But they have little bottles of, it's Gatorade, but it's called Gator Light. And it's meant for a better hydration quicker. And I tell you what, I have really liked those. It does seem to help.
Brutal Catfish and Liddy says Alba is the only sunscreen I can use. I'm allergic to the rest. I've not heard of that. But if it's like a non-allergenic thing, then it's probably a great product for those. That's something to keep in mind if any of you are allergic to that. And we have Riggin for Fatties, which we're glad to see you in here tonight. Says we will be in the high 70s, low 80s for the next 2 weeks. They are projecting from my area. That is awesome.
We have a high of 79 this coming weekend for both Saturday and Sunday. Love it.
Yeah, we're supposed to drop off quite a bit. We'll probably pay for it later, but
I'm sure we'll have another go around. Yeah.
There's a good buddy Mark with Catfish and Crappies has joined us, and for those of you that didn't watch his, and I quit watching him about 2 a.m. About 3:30, he caught a really, really nice flathead. Figures I'd miss it, but I'm glad to see him out there catching some fish. That was awesome.
It was sad to see he was live for like 9 hours, but I'd never seen any pictures, so I wasn't sure if he
put it up. It was a great fish.
Did he? I missed it then. I didn't come up. You know what? I think one of the best things to staying cool in the summertime is to go fishing at night.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. That I love fishing at night. I don't do much of it anymore, but it's one of the most comfortable times in the summer to go is at night. And my boat we have lights on paint poles, and I had them on 8-foot poles, and they're now on 12-foot poles. I never put them up that high. But when you get them lights that high above you, a lot of the bugs go up to the lights, and they don't bother you. Still, they still come around, but not as bad. And a thermostat is a must-have in your boat. It just is. If you got seats side by side, just set it down between you to make a world of difference. And
Mm-hmm.
if you got two of them, turn them both on.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
just turn them on. They don't cost hardly anything to run. They really don't. They run on propane. They got a little pad in there that releases some kind of something that mosquitoes don't like. And mosquitoes aren't the only bug that they deter, but they're the main, because they're the ones that just eat you up. But yeah, they're just worth everything. But yeah, a good light up above you. I got 4. We turn those on, crisscross them so we don't have shadows. You can read a book in my boat.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's just unbelievable.
Oh, Parker says the mayflies were swarming Saturday.
Ugh.
Ask me, Parker, what's wrong with you?
The last time I used my big overhead light, we put that thing up like 12 foot in the air, turned it on the night the mayfly hatch. Those things were everywhere.
You know, there's places that they're so bad along the Mississippi River, they have to take graders and snowplow trucks to push them off the road. Honest to God. And they get so thick in the bottom of your boat when it's like that, you can't walk without busting your butt. They're so slick.
Yeah, we went out around the 4th of July and they had them people out there in the fireworks, and we turned that light off. We got swarmed. My boat's still covered.
Yeah.
I still got parts of my boat covered in it.
Yep. Pontoon Jody has made it in. Welcome, Jody. And Joe Newman has made it in. David Funk.
Mm-hmm.
There's
Sean
Ryan.
T.
Ryan was setting hooks and crossing eyes.
Sean T's laughing at all of us for saying it's hot up here. Called us a bunch of Yankees.
He lives down there where Creole does, and it gets pretty warm there too.
It does.
But if it has to be one of us, might as well be him. May 5 equals bobber fishing time. I agree with that.
I'm about through. I had some bluegill poles on my boat. I'm about to start taking. I was pulling them out of my console and out of my net, and I could have just done some fishing with them right in there.
Oh, I bet.
I'm with you, Austin. Fall cannot come soon enough. We've got 1 month until the Rising Sun tournament. It's the weekend after Labor Day. There's always a huge tournament down here in Rising Sun, Indiana, and guys, I don't have any idea what's going on with the commercials.
Buck Williams says Dotson flies are the worst. Size of bats, and they have pictures.
Oh,
I don't guess I know what they are. I don't.
Are those Buck? Is that the horse flies or what? I'm thinking maybe that's the kind of flies he's talking about. I don't know for sure, but
I don't know what a Dotson fly is. Hey, Mike Sampson, thank you for joining us tonight.
But yeah, hopefully
something stole my worm.
This cool weather that's coming it'll be nice around then. The only problem I have with that is that fog.
Well,
I'd like to be able to make a couple of nice runs if needed to fish, and I am not moving in that fog. I refuse.
Well, I've done it, and I've also just pulled over to the side and thrown an anchor out to look raised too.
Yeah, that'll probably be what I do. But
I've been in tournaments where everybody took out wide open and run into a bank of fog, and everybody's shutting down. When you shut down like that, you don't know if you're going to hit somebody in the ass or not.
No.
And there was some of that did happen, and I just pulled over to the side. We just threw an anchor out and waited till the fog lifted, and you could hear people talking all around you, but you couldn't see any of them. So you didn't know if they was going to run into you or not. It's just dangerous.
Yeah. Well, and the first year I told you about the story about the first year I ever did the Rising Sun tournament. Them barges will park. They will, because up here the water is so dead at that time of the. They will literally just stop. They won't beach the barges. They will literally just stop.
Yep.
And I am not going head first into a
especially if it ain't speed at all.
A sitting barge doing 30, 40, 50 mile an hour.
Yeah, it just ain't worth it. Jeremy says our mosquitoes are so big they've got tail numbers. That's kind of funny.
Oh, it's what a Helgramite turns into.
Oh, I see. Okay.
I did not know that.
Pontoon Joey says, I'll take 1,000 mayflies over one yellow hornet. Yeah, I kind of got to go for that.
Yeah. I don't know. I can kill one yellow hornet pretty quick compared to
I
being
don't know.
swarmed, and you got mayflies in your ears, and they're trying to go up your nose and your eyes and the mouth, and yeah, I don't know about all
Here's
that.
a great question here. Fishing the Rut says, where are y'all fishing during the day when it's hot like this? Deeper water, shallows? For me, it's deeper water.
I would say
If I could find moving water, like if I hot day like today, I'm gonna run up to the tailwaters of the dam if I can.
That's a great place.
yeah.
I
I can tell you,
water.
we tried everything on Sunday. One, we started shallow, thinking two things. One, I'm not setting out in the fog, and there was a bass tournament, so they were flying up and down the river, plus barges. I wasn't going to do it, so we figure let's set up close towards the bank, and we'll try some shallow around the maybe they're still feeding early in the morning. We had nothing. We did not catch fish until we were in the deepest part of the river at about 60 feet.
Oh wow!
Wow.
That's how deep we were. We tried anywhere between, like I said, the bank. We started dragging at about 25 to 30 feet and got all the way to 60 before we caught a fish. That was
Huh.
the first fish we caught. That 17-pounder that caught this weekend.
Wow. Sean T says, it's been so hot down there. We put dry ice in the pool to cool it off. That's pretty hot.
That's hot.
Mm-hmm.
They just look outside. It's just boiling.
That's right. Parker says deep moving water. That's it.
Yeah. We don't have much moving water right now. We're at about a half-mile-an-hour currents all
See,
the Ohio.
what body water is that you're fishing?
That's the mighty Ohio.
With no current. It's mighty.
We are so mighty that we have to hold our water back to not make those sissy Mississippi fishermen cry.
Yeah, keep on thinking that. Benoit Outdoors says, bees try to kill me. I try to help them, but they are not friendly. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you're right about that.
Bees don't typically bother me too much. It's the biting flies.
Black flies and black gnats, yeah. Yep, that's for sure.
Dave Funk's got a real good one there to change your bait often.
Yeah, that's the key. Yeah, I think that's a wonderful key.
That's the big thing. Get that.
You know what's funny is I tend to, I don't know if you guys can believe this or not, but I get lazy at times about changing baits. And that first fish we caught, I got to tell myself, had been on there. That bait had been on there 4 or 5 hours.
Oh wow!
It was a skipjack head that actually I cut pretty close where there was hardly any meat on it, and it slammed that rod. And that was after like I said, 4 or 5 hours of. I was like, I just ain't dealing with it. I was like, if I'm not even getting bites, I'm not wasting bait. So
yeah, I don't blame you.
You know, I want to get off topic a second.
No way.
No, I really do. Joey Kirby lives down in Owensboro, Kentucky.
Mm-hmm.
Fished with a guy a lot, several guys, but whenever they're fishing 3 or 4 in a boat, seems like they cut up a bunch of bait. And the only thing that was ever left when he go to get bait was the tails on catfish, on the bait fish.
Yeah.
Everybody else was getting the good pieces, leaving him the tails. Well, that he would catch as many fish as everyone else. Sometimes bigger fish than the others, using the tails, and he kind of quite funny. Well, I always just throw the tails away. The last trip out last year, I decided that I was going to try tails, and I still caught fish. Didn't seem to matter. I wonder if they hold more blood going down there, or you just catch it when you cut it right. But I caught as many fish on tails as I did on body pieces and head pieces that day. So the next time, I'm just going to use every piece and call it a day.
I would say I put out about a half a half a skipjack, it was probably about a 6-inch piece. It was filleted down one side and left the tail on, and it had one small hit, but that was it. That was my extent of that. And I've been the same way, Lyle. Cut the tail off, throw it away, but every once in a while I'll throw it out there. But I haven't seen a difference, but I have heard other people say the same exact thing. That
I tell you what, I broke my Baldwin curse fishing up there with Parker, using the tails off the shad.
That's the reason you're having a curse is you're fishing with Parker.
Oh yeah. I'll give him credit. I absolutely hated that lake until I started fishing it with Parker, and he ironed me out what I was doing wrong, and I started having a little bit more success up there on that lake. Still,
I'll tell you, I used to flay off both sides and just use the skeleton as bait.
Mm-hmm.
I've had luck doing that.
You'd catch my son because he likes skeleton.
He'd be in business then. Yeah.
Oh, if we use a skeleton as bait, John would be going nuts.
See, I will fillet down one side and use the backbone and the other fillet together, but I don't usually cut both down unless I use make like a flapper or something like that. But
the backbone's where the majority of the blood is.
Yes.
So whatever part's got that, you should be in business.
I don't think necessarily, and I could be wrong. I'm definitely not an expert of the bloodlines inside the fish, but as far as the tail is concerned, I'm thinking they hold oil more than they do blood. My personal opinion. But
maybe they are oil.
Yes, we need Koa. Where's he at?
That's where we need Koa.
And what a wealth of information. He's so busy in his college stuff and things that he's got going on, but when he gets done, he's going to be so full of information to share with us. I can't wait for him to get out of school and
you can't ask for a nicer person.
He is as good as there is, and as knowledgeable.
You can ask Koa the dumbest question in the world, and he's going to give you a good answer and not laugh at you for asking.
That's exactly right.
Definitely not like us.
No,
that. You'd be like, you flip
moron. You mean you?
What?
No,
I'm not like that.
I heard down there at the Ark Encounter in Williamstown, Kentucky, that they still have the etchings that Lyle made, counting the days, the 40 days and 40 nights. I'm just saying.
If you go back there to the very back of it, you can see where he was cutting bait because it left marks in the wood.
Well, I heard
Did it have a place to screw in my drift master?
Yeah, it was pieces of driftwood.
Okay. As long as they threaded, I don't care.
I know. Buck Williams. Chad explained to Lyle what flapper is. He thinks that they are girls that danced at his graduation party in the 20s. Why are y'all so mean to my pops?
Yeah, I don't get it. I'm nothing but nice to you guys.
And Mason Stokes says, "Don't worry, Paul Ball. You didn't miss out on any action at Bennett Springs. We couldn't catch anything except a bluegill."
Well, that's good bait, so I would have considered it a win.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, Mason, if he would have went with you, the only thing he could have helped you catch was bass. So
that's not true.
He's been getting good at that.
He's even really good at that. I heard Bass Fish Nation is going to be coming on one night.
I'm thinking that would be James Dockery.
Bass Fish Weekly.
He caught the big fish. But I know what James does with his bass.
There's Mr. Ted Ellenbecker.
Hey, Ted. We had a great time with Ted and his daughter, and Ted doing seminars. We broadcast those live on Catfish Week. Glad to do it.
See, this is a good point. Yeah, I usually don't use tails, but I never understood the logic of some guys not throwing the tails in the water as to not feed the fish. If you're worried about the fish eating the tails, put it on a hook. LOL.
That's right. And throwing the tails out's just chumming.
Yeah. The only time I wouldn't do that is tournament. I still wouldn't do that.
No, I tournament, but I just throw them out.
Tournament
Feed them
fishing,
up.
I throw so much bait overboard when I'm tournament fishing.
Only time I do that is if I'm leaving a spot.
Well, if you do that when you're leaving a spot, the next guy that stops there, chances just went down a little bit.
Exactly. At least that's my goal. Listen to this. Big Bill's veteran catfishing. I heard so much crying from Chad not catching a fish in so long I thought I was with Brian B.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Thank you for letting us in on that.
Mm-hmm.
Just so you guys know, I gave Bill like 7 hours to catch the first fish and finally got so freaking tired of waiting that I had to catch the first fish. And it was the biggest fish of the day. Way bigger than his little 14-pounder.
They all count.
But mine counted more because it was bigger.
Okay. I got
Fish
you.
the Rut says, what's the favorite summer bait that he's been catching fish on white bass and brim lately?
Honestly,
It's on
usually
body of water.
skipjack. Well, yeah, but usually for me, because I'm 99% time in the rivers, is skipjack. But it has not produced this summer like it usually does in other summers.
This time of year, if I can get moon eye, I still want moon eye.
Absolutely.
That's my favorite bait.
Absolutely.
But common carp, the old goldfish carp.
Yep.
They're bloody as hell.
Yes, they are.
And they work.
The
Hot water like this, those common carp work great.
They on the lakes that I fish around here, we don't have skipjack in any of the lakes that anybody knows about. There is, it'd be so few. So in the lakes, shad is the best thing to use for bait,
definitely the best thing.
and bluegill. I love my bluegill for bait on the lakes. On the rivers, skipjack, moon eye. Shad's not that good this time of the year for some reason.
I got news for you. Chad is good any time of the year.
Will you get rid of him?
It did sound like you said Chad's not that good this time of the year.
Shad. But yeah, there for some reason the shad just doesn't work that good on the rivers. You still catch fish on them, but not like you do the oilier fish like skipjack and moon eye, gold eye, stuff like that. Still bluegill. I mean, I wish bass was legal. I mean, I really do, because all I hear is, "Man, I caught this and that on bass," and I'm thinking it ought to be legal for if it's legal in one state, it ought to be legal in every state.
Oh, shoot.
Kind of like our limits, they could make them the same on every state, where we'd have no question when you went from one area to the next. But that's another story. We can do a whole show on that, I think. But any of the oily fish is really good. I know people talk about using drum for bait. I have never ever caught a fish on a drum.
I don't think I've ever caught a fish on.
I never have, and I know people say, "Oh, I caught this or that on drum." A drum to me, if I was going to use that, and I've told you guys before, I got a gallon jug of skipjack oil, and if I had one of them injection syringes, I think that would be the only way you'd catch fish on a drum, is to inject them in something they really want. Because nothing bites a drum.
No.
They're just nasty.
Except for weirdos like Parker and Josh.
It is good. And Dockery.
Yeah, Dockery eat anything. There's no question in my mind he would eat anything.
I saw where Fishing Fever said his Temu trolling motor come in. We'll have to. I'm wanting
a Temu trolling motor.
Get it all set up.
Anxious to see how that works out, because some of their stuff is just as good as anything else.
I've had a lot of bad luck off of Temu.
I haven't either. Everything I've got off of there so far, with the exception of one deal, I got a little magnifying glass with a couple of lights on it so I could see when I was doing thread work and different things. It was smaller than I anticipated, but maybe I just didn't read it right. I wanted a big one that actually do me some good. But it wasn't, and it's still usable. It's just hard to use because it is so tiny. But if I'd have read the ad correctly, that might have been on me. I don't know. But as far as the fishing stuff, so far all of it has been as good a quality be
No,
expected. I
Mark
mean,
said he got some Timu crankbaits and they're horrible. So
oh, did he?
if he just put that in chat, so
The question is he catching fish on them or not?
but he'd have to fish.
Oh,
but never mind. Never mind. Be nice. You guys aren't going to trick me into being.
you remember the question I asked you guys about that here a while back?
I don't remember.
I don't remember.
Yeah, we'll talk about that.
I don't remember this.
You do.
Bugman said he got 20 pair of footy socks for $6.
What?
Timu.
He's
He got
playing
20 pairs of
footsies.
footy
20
socks.
pair of footy socks for $6. Holy crap.
You can get anything on the Timu.
I think you're right.
It gives me anxiety to go on that app. I did
know,
it one time, and then I was like, yeah, this is giving me anxiety.
I had a question about that, and I put it in chat one night. Our little Catfish Weekly chat, and Josh told me not to do it. Was on a external hard drive because it was cheaper than a broom, man.
Don't buy those. Those are just scams.
I don't want to get
a thumb drive that says it's like a 2 terabyte thumb drive for it to be like $3. That's a scam. So
has to be, gotta be. But
Parker, I think, or Chad, I think we need to make a Jerry Parker action figure.
A Jerry, who's got one of them printers that'll print out stuff?
I'd like to get one of those actually.
I would too. I don't know how to use it, but did you guys see this or put it up and I miss it?
No, I seen it, but then I seen something about a Chad Fields action figure, and it was more important.
Oh, okay.
Awesome.
That ain't bad.
That is cheap, man.
Is that a GPS trolling motor too, or is it just?
They threw in a free bilge pump and 100 three-way spools. If it works at all, that's
yeah.
I hope it's got a 60-inch shaft on it, because like a boat like mine and Chad's, and some of the ones Josh just got, I'm sure, have a deep front end, and you need 60-inch shaft on them.
Yeah.
72 if you can find one, but they're hard to find.
I don't know if they make them anymore, do they?
You can still find them every once in a while.
That reminds me, Josh. Did you ever get that one put together?
I've got it all put back together. I've got one little part that needs to go in. I got to put a helicoil into it.
Oh, okay.
I haven't. I was thinking about it the other day. I need to get the helicoil put in.
I've ordered several cast nets from Temu. Good nets, but they are never the size you ordered. If you want an 8-foot, order a 10 or 12-foot and cross your fingers.
Here's a great question from my grandson. For a first truck, what should I get? Ford.
Yes.
Get you a Ford. Laugh at the rest of them clowns while you're driving yours and they're pushing theirs. Ask your dad. He's pushing his.
You buy a Ford, they give you a puppy when you buy one, so you have something to walk home with.
That's not true.
One of those bells just rung, by the way, too.
Uh-oh.
I forgot you were fishing.
Yeah.
Also, so typically, Ted, the Mendota trip is in May. So we already went up there. We actually got stormed out and had to leave. We didn't know. None of us got to stay but more than 2 days.
That was the week after we went to Mississippi.
Yep.
Ooh, now that is true, Ted. You can come down here we got one in September. We're going to Crab Orchard in my neck of the woods.
I can already tell you that.
It'll be a fun time.
What's the date on that? I can't remember. Is it the end?
Danny Stone's in chat. He'll be able to say it. I think it's around the 18th, but I'm not 100%.
Yeah, as of right now, that's definitely probably going to be a no based off of. Well, we are looking at the middle of September now for our moves, so more likely that trip won't happen. So for us.
Well, Chad, as bad as I hate to let anyone think you're ever right about anything, but you have your priorities straight on that.
Yes.
You just got got to do that. They and you're gonna love your new place when you get in there.
As everything works out. Don't
Yeah.
jinx me.
No, I'm not.
Stop trying to jinx me. You've already got a voodoo doll of me sitting over there on your table. You poke with a stick.
Yeah, I got a pin up its ass too.
Well, we almost made it this week.
Josh, there was no reeling him in before he said it.
No, we almost made it.
Look, 3 minutes left of the show.
3 minutes
Almost
ago.
made it.
Josh, do we have a bragging board tonight?
We do. If somebody can, if you
I got it.
can get it.
If I can
We
find
got
it.
some good fish on there tonight, and a newcomer to the board. So.
Great.
Oh, nice. Well, here we are. Let's take a look.
Howdy, folks. It's time once again to take a look at the Catfish Weekly Bragging Board. This covers through the week of August the 5th, 2024. Leading us off this week, we have our good buddy Mark from Catfish and Crappie. Mark went live in search of flathead catfish this weekend and managed to come up with a really nice one about an hour before dawn. Great work, buddy. Catfish Weekly's own Chadwick Fields made his way out onto the mighty Ohio River this weekend and came up with a nice 17-pound blue catfish. With as busy as Chad's been lately, it's good to see him out catching some fish and enjoying some downtime. Next up, we have a newcomer to the bragging board. Miss Christina Lemke sent in these photos of some awesome flathead catfish she's recently caught. Every one of those fish is a beast in and of itself. Congratulations, Christina, and thanks for sending in the photos. Catfish Weekly host Lyle Stokes ventured out and caught some nice panfish recently. These fish were all caught on hand-tied Lyle Stokes jigs. Great work, buddy. And closing us out this week, we have our good friend Jerry Parker, who sent in this photo of a 44.5-pound blue catfish he recently caught while out bank fishing. Jerry is a regular here on the bragging board, and it always seems to come up with some really great fish. Congratulations, brother. Don't forget, guys, you too can be featured on the Catfish Weekly bragging board. To be eligible, the fish needs to have been caught within the past 14 days, and we accept pictures of any species of fish. To get yourself or a friend on the bragging board, all you need to do is email your fish photo to pics@theweekendangler.com. Send us the information shown on your screen, and we'll get it on the board for you. Thank you all for watching. Have a great week.
Another outstanding board there, Josh. Thank you for taking your time to do that. Some good fish. I do know, and I don't know why he don't send pictures in. Mark caught a really nice flathead the other night. I don't know why he didn't send his pictures in. But you know who never sends pictures in?
Who's that?
Brian B.
Because you don't fish.
Oh,
And I'm gonna, Josh. I got one for next week that I'll resend you. To
Oh,
I thought I sent it, but I guess I didn't.
Yeah, send it over to me. I got a few more already for next week that we'll get.
There we
put on.
go.
the reason my eyes was closed, Danny, is because I was tired. I hadn't had a nap yet that day.
He was. It was nap time.
I thought he was trying to picture it as a bass because that's what he was fishing for.
Will you stop with the bass? What's wrong with you? It was a lot of good fish in there. Man, Christina has some great fish. Those are giant flatheads.
Those are some nice flathead.
Yeah, they were.
Them flatheads they're the king of cats. I love catching big blues. I do. And if you're going to fish a lot of tournaments in most areas, not all, but in most areas, you're going to fish for blues to be in the money in a tournament. Not all, but most.
Yeah.
But nothing takes a better picture than big old flatheads turned up sideways when you're getting pictures of them. Man. They're just the best.
Hey, catch fish with us. I'm not going to lie. I'm a little disappointed in Josh that he did not utilize this opportunity to say what I had sent him of my 17-pound blue was bigger than anything Brian B has caught this year.
I know. I should have put that in there. I really should.
I mean,
Are you sure it wasn't this year and last year?
now see, it's good when Lyle's even getting in on it.
We could have fun with that. I wonder if we start putting that into like one of those AI image generators, if we could get Brian B catching fish.
That's a great idea.
Let's see what we could come up with.
We got to look into that.
I
did put
I
in
hate
one
to
time
tell you,
I tried
Chad.
to invent Dockery fishing and tried to do this and that, and it put Willie Nelson. So
Willie Nelson caught Dockery caught a bass almost as big as Chad's fish. But he does look a little like Willie. I'm pretty sure he'd like to change bank accounts with Willie, but
We all, well, except for Lyle.
Yeah, you only knew. But yeah, them. He does look like Willie.
he does kind
I
of
started to look like him.
That ought to
Great
get him
dragon board, everybody. What was that, Josh?
I said that ought to get him good and fired up. So.
Oh, there's no question about it. No question about it. I think. Whoop. I think even the heat has got James down a little bit. There's nobody that fishes any more than he does. But when it's hot like this, I think it even bothers him.
You would think, though, as low as to the ground as he is, he's at least 5 degrees, 10 degrees cooler than we are. So,
well, you would think so.
Boo!
I saw the line take off.
All right, folks.
I'm using Aberdeen hooks tonight since those bullheads like to swallow them. So
they do.
Well,
are you catching them for bait or to eat?
I'm just catching them to kill some time.
I got you. Well, that's just as good as any of the above answers.
Come out, make sure they're still going to bite. I've about got the bait tank ready to go together. So,
before we get off of here, and I know you've been really busy and doing other videos like the battery video, which was really well done. But do we have an ETA on this bait tank finish?
I've got one more, and here's what's kind of holding me up. I've got one more battery that I've got to run in that bait tank for a test. That one's getting done this week.
Okay.
And after that, and I've been putting together. I don't want that thing in my garage. I don't want my garage smelling like a bait shop. And
really,
yeah,
yours don't.
It doesn't, and we're going to keep it that way.
Okay.
But back behind my shop, I waited for the hottest part of the year to dig post holes and set 4x4s, and I've got that set. I need to make a run to Home Depot and get the decking and everything I need to finish that up. But basically, I'm building a little shack to put that bait tank into.
I'm excited to see it finished.
Got to keep the sun off of it, because if you don't limit how much sun's getting to that thing, you're going to have an algae factory. So.
Mm-hmm. I have a big yellow tub that's, I believe, 30 gallons that I'm going to eventually make a bait tank out of for home to keep bluegill and stuff in. And I've been wearing Mark out on ideas for filters and different things. So any of these videos like the one you're doing is just knowledge for me to figure out how to do this. Now, granted, if the one I'm doing is not as big as what you're doing. Yours is gigantic. So's Mark's.
It's a couple
but
hundred.
Mine's not. Yeah, mine's going to be about 30 gallon, and it'll probably be 3/4 full, and got a screw-on lid. And but I don't have room for all that.
I made a last-minute addition to the bait tank. I decided I wanted to be able to add some air. Maybe not all the time, but I want to be able to add air. And so I've ordered some stuff. That's the next thing. I just don't want to shove that thing in there and then still run a trolling motor. I'm afraid to chop it up. But I have got what appears to be the ultimate air stone. going.
I'm
into
anxious to see that.
going into the bait tank, and if it works if it works half as good as what it shows online, this thing's gonna be amazing. So
Nice.
Yeah.
Can't wait to see it.
No, it'll be really good. Be sure to share that out on Catfish Weekly's
Yep.
Facebook page when you get done, because sometimes I don't. You actually got it shared up this time before I did, but we enjoy your videos and stuff, and we appreciate it. Chadwick, stay after that house deal. We're all anxious for you to get in there so you can get back to normal once a week fishing, or taking D out and you guys catching a lot of fish. And we're pulling for you to get it done as quickly as you can.
We're hoping it all works out.
Yeah, we are too. We honest to God, we do. Everybody, thank you so much for watching our show tonight. We appreciate it very much. Dog Days of Summer is here. We're going to have them for a while, but it looks like the next couple of weeks is going to be a little bit better, and we're all excited about that. For those of you that's watching for the first time, thank you so much. Be sure to come back and see us. Chad will be live Thursday night with his crew. Mark and I will be live Wednesday night. What was that?
I said, there's something.
yeah.
They are something. Friday night, Jody will be live, and Stan Smith.
Dan, yeah.
And then we'll be always something going on the weekends. There's too many things on the weekends to keep up with all of them, unless you guys know of something specific. And it sounds like that's a no.
Wait a minute.
So,
yeah, there is a thing. Yeah, I've got to host a tournament Saturday night. I think is that. Yeah, the 10th. I'm helping host a tournament Saturday evening. So
okay.
Because Brian's a jerk, he doesn't fish, but yet
really
he can't host this one either. So.
Oh man.
Oh, you're so mean to that guy.
I know. It's okay.
Yep. Mark says Panfish Waste Nation Wednesday night. That is correct. We'll have a lot of fun. We have a great time over there, so be sure to join us. And we'll see everybody next Monday night right here on Catfish Weekly. Thanks, everybody, for watching.
Have a great week, everybody.